few more minutes, about 7 minutes left in practice here. So welcome to Green White Checker TV. Tonight we've got the Area 51 Racing League Cup Series at Richmond. So it'll be the first race with the new damage model. So that'll be exciting to see how that comes into play this evening. I have a feeling some of these drivers are testing out the damage model. I don't know if you've been watching or not. Probably testing the damage model a little bit, and also just I think kind of goofing off a little bit. You see plenty of wall riding that I've noticed so far in practice. I think these guys are just kind of having a little bit of fun before the race begins here. Let's say Richmond's going to be a tough one for these guys. Let's say it's a pretty popular short track. This in Iowa, kind of a combo of the speedway versus short track, kind of that nice little mix between them. Usually puts on a lot of good racing in the Cup Series especially. However, it's as you see, there's some more wall riding going on there. It's a very tricky track though to get around unless you're doing this wall riding like you see here with that 14 Levi Cox putting down some big speed here. But yeah, so that's going to be something to see how that's all going to shake out. So again, these I don't know, this is just pretty fun to watch to me. But yeah, so it's going to be pretty entertaining. I think it's going to be, oh, you see right there some of the new damage model there, the front clip there of the 14 car trying to come off. You see right there, trying to flip off there. So that's kind of an example of that new damage model that we talked about coming into iRacing here. So yeah, so I just kind of wanted to show some of you, that'll be a fun thing to look at as well. But yeah, so again, we can train of thought here. But yeah, so for Richmond though, again, I believe it's going to be 100 laps here. It's going to be a tricky one. I believe it's going to be a little bit, like for me, turn one especially, it's so tricky to get in there and keep the speed and not get too loose. So there's that really good balance that the fast drivers are able to have, which I'll say here in Iowa, these are two tracks I don't have what these guys have, who are able to put down those fast laps. So so we'll get going here in just a little bit. I'll say about 5 more minutes, and then while they're qualifying, we'll go ahead and go over the point standings in this series. So yeah, I want to thank you all again for joining me here at Green White Checker TV for the Area 51 Racing League Cup Series tonight at Richmond. All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Area 51 Racing League tonight here on Green White Checkered TV. So tonight again we'll be running at Richmond Raceway. So say as they're making their qualifying laps here, we're going to go over our point stand. So right now, our points leader by just 5 points is Larry Yingling, leading Ryan Kelly. Not too far behind in third is Levi Cox. In fourth is Chad Wilkes. And then rounding out the top 5 here is Jack Walls. And then 6th through 10th here you see you have Brandon Clark, David Adamson, Maxwell Caldwell, Jim Brooks, and Robert Richards. So you can see just on the standings as well. Say with the 7 so far starts in the series. Right now, Larry Yingling and Levi Cox both have 3 wins apiece, with Chad Wilkes having 1 as well in his pocket. So I was saying, we'll have to double check on the points, as well as I think they were looking at seeing about, as I know they weren't able to upload the results of the North Wilkesboro race, so that may get added here. So that'll of course change the standings up a little bit as well. However, after tonight at Richmond, we'll be going to one more short track at Bristol next week, and then following those is going to be Las Vegas, and then the segment finale at Charlotte. Saying also, while they're making their qualifying laps, want to let everybody know, of course, that there is also the $10 pole award here, sponsored by Regal Cinemas. And so for those who may not be aware, Regal operates one of the largest and most geographically diverse theater circuits in the United States, consisting of 7,211 screens in 549 theaters, in 42 states, along with America Samoa, the District of Columbia, Guam, and Saipan. Regal believes that the size, reach, and quality of the company's theater circuit provides its patrons with a convenient and enjoyable movie-going experience. Regal is committed to being the best place to watch a movie, bar none. So say again, we want to really thank Regal for sponsoring the pole award for this Cup Series here on Thursday night. It's a really cool thing that they've been able to do for some of these drivers. I'll say definitely give some incentive for some drivers to try to put down that big lap there, because a lot of times you'll see some drivers just, they want to start in the back and just kind of cruise, but that really opens up the door for some of these drivers to really try to put down that hot lap, and I'll say either get $10 iRacing credits, or even or just $10 to their bank account through PayPal, or however they go about that. So I want to thank Regal again for putting that on for the series here at Area 51 Racing League. As I said, I'm sure with everything that's been going on, I'll say once things are safe and able to be done, I'll say definitely would be good to bring some viewing experience back to them, and help out those theaters get going again, as I'm sure they've been through some difficult times with everything going on. So again, really appreciate them doing that for the league here. So I still got about a minute. Still got about a minute and a half remaining in qualifying. Right now we have 8 drivers that have put down a lap at the moment. So I say right now showing Brandon Clark as the current pole sitter. We'll see if anything changes here. As I see right now on track is the 67 of Larry Yingling, as is the 007 of David Adamson. Say both of those drivers definitely are going to be ones to put down some potential quick lap times here. So we'll keep an eye on that. I say, and what we'll try to do as well is get a quick interview with them before we go green as we go through the grid. And then I'll say we'll get things rolling here in just a moment. Alright, with that, say qualifying is just about complete here. So it looks like our pole sitter is going to be that 85 here of Brandon Clark. So we'll go ahead and pull him up and get a quick word as they start getting ready to grid. So they pull in our pole sitter here, that number 85 of Brandon Clark, able to get that pole position. Put $10 in your pocket here. However, of course, let's say it looks like it's going to be a tricky one tonight at Richmond. Say, what have you learned so far during practice?
It is a super loose setup, and probably taking care of the right rear is probably way more important than the right front for once.
All right, I'll say, well, we'll let you get settled there. Say apologies, as I think my say work on getting some of these things squared away here again. I'll say congrats on the pull though, and good luck tonight. I say we'll definitely be keeping an eye on things. I say appreciate the heads up on what to expect for the way the car's driving tonight.
Yeah, thank you, man. Have fun up there.
All right, so that was our pole sitter, the 85 of Brandon Clark. Say apologies for the mic hiccup there. Still getting everything settled in here. However, that's going to put the 85 of Brandon Clark on the pole position. So we're going to go through our starting grid here. So on the pole position here, we have the 85 of Brandon Clark. Next to him is the 14 of Levi Cox. Able to beat him for the pole position by just under 200ths of a second here at Richmond. Second row, we have Maxwell Caldwell and Chad Wilkes. In the third row, we have Larry Yingling and Bud Steele. Starting in the fourth row, we have Ryan Kelly and James Ledford. And then the last drive putting down a lap time there is Cody Cox in the 9, starting in the 9th position. Then from 10th through 18th, looks like they all went ahead and are going to go get sorted by the grid rating there. However, so you see they're getting moving here. So it's going to be 100 laps tonight at Richmond. Scheduled distance, of course, here at Area 51 Racing League. They do have the option, or the potential, I should say, of 3 green-white checkers. And as well, say there are the 2 faster pairs as well that are available for these cars. And again, I say we so you see those top 2 as they giving each other a little bit of a bump there as the lights are off on the pace car. So we're going to be going green this time. And I'm saying, remember also this is with the new damage model with these cars. So it'll be pretty exciting to see how cars react with that. And I'll say we're going to get things rolling here. Let's see the pace car pull in here. Put it into the hands of the 85 and the 14. Oh, I lied actually. Pace car is still there. So I saw the lights off on the pace car, and I saw the 14 jump. I was like, that didn't seem right there. And so yeah, sure enough, that was because it's the short track. There are actually two laps of the pace lap. So apologies there, mixed that one up. A rookie mistake. You hate to see it. So now we're going to be going green this time. We'll see the pace car duck in here. So you can see already the 14 Levi Cox trying to see where the grip is on the tires there. Make sure it's not going to spin the tires on the start. Because again, this is also the short track package, which is going to be the full horsepower and the low downforce. So these things are a much bigger handful to run than the normal speedway package. So these guys are going to definitely have to be up on the wheel here. All right, pace car's in, waiting for the green. So the 85 and 14. 85 gets a really good jump there on the start. It's going to put him out in the lead. So you can see he's going to kind of come to the top there, get a good arc entering turn 1 here. Oh, you see right behind him, that 17 of Chad Wilkes got really loose. Looks like he's not able to hang on. So we're going to have our first incident here right off the start. It looks like the 17, the 6 was involved there of Bud Steele. Saying already we're going to have, as you see, Bud Steele's actually stuck in, there he goes. Okay, he was able to unhook from the wall. So that's another thing that these drivers have to be careful about. Again, with that new damage model, you can see the front end of that 6 car. Just not very happy right now. So let's go ahead and take a look, see what happened. I want to say it looked like it kind of started with that 17 getting loose under green. Although I think what was happening actually was it looks like he was trying to catch it. Yeah, you can see how loose he gets there, and you see the 14 dive underneath. 94 tries to get through as well. Unfortunately, clips that 17 car, comes right across the path of Bud Steele. Gets a big shot there, as does the 48 of James Ledford. And I think also that, and you see also that, yeah, trying to tear that front clip off that 6 car. I think Robert Richards also may have gotten a piece of that as well. So a couple cars involved there early on. I think Maxwell Caldwell may have a little bit of damage as well in his car in the 94. So I say we'll see how he's in the pits here. Let's say take a look at that right front. Doesn't look too bad. I say I'm thinking he'll probably try to save that fast repair for later. However, I'm sure the 6 car is going to definitely have to use one of those fast repairs, and possibly that 17. We'll have to wait and see for him. However, I'll say up front though, our race leader. Actually, I'm seeing a little bit of damage on the right front of that 85. Oh, and the right and the rear of it. Let's see what happened to his car here. Oh, under yellow. It's like those 2 cars got hooked together here. Oh, that's an interesting. I'm going to keep backing up here. See what. There we go. So one of those things, maybe just learning what you can and can't do. So you see the 14 kind of get to the back bumper of the 85 here. And then you can see just looks like he kind of gets stuck on him. So we'll let him keep going through a little bit. So you can kind of see maybe not everything working perfectly here with this new damage model. Say a little, oh yeah, you see he got hooked there and actually sends him around. Wow. So that's going to be some significant damage to that 85 of Brandon Clark there. So those 2 cars getting hooked together. So I'll have to kind of see how that's going to play a role in this potentially. So we'll see if we're on the 1 to go or not this time. We are not. So I'm going to step away for just a moment so you can see that damage on our race leader here. That's going to be something we're definitely have to keep an eye on though. However, right now it looks like the top 7 all stayed out, and then from 8th on back they went ahead and pitted under this yellow. Some drivers still pitting here to probably get some more damage repaired. So we'll rejoin here once we get that 1 to go. Lights are off on the pace car. So they got a couple drivers here still going into the pits one more time here. I think they're trying to get as much damage fixed as possible. So it's the 6 of Bud Steele. So see the 45 of Paul Patterson in as well. So actually it looks like Maxwell Caldwell, David Adamson, and Bud Steele looks like they're opting to try to see if they can get this damage repaired and not use that fast repair yet. So say we're going to restart here again. This will be lap number 7. So we're going to have 94 to go at the start-finish line here. So saying we'll have to see how the 85 car reacts with this damage there. So say it's definitely going to hurt the way that thing drives, I have a feeling. Back out in here, you can see that back TV counter flapping in the wind here. We'll see if it's able to stay attached though, let's say, but right now, so you see that 14 going to try to make the top line work here through turns 1 and 2. Looks like he's going to be able to get the momentum. 14, Levi Cox into the lead. I'm saying I think you're going to see everybody seeing that damage on that 85 of Brandon Clark. They're all going to try to scoot around him. I'll say not wasting any time here. Here comes the 67 Larry Yingling. He's going to dive to the inside of that 14. He's going to try to see if Larry can take the lead over from Levi. Oh, see a big loose there off of the 85 of Brandon Clark. He's going to allow the 83 of Jack Walls to get around him. I see 13 Ryan Kelly trying to also follow the momentum on the top side here. It looked like the 14 up pretty loose there on the exit of 2. Just saw it out of frame. Saying that's a lot of Larry Yingling here to take the lead as they go through turns 1 and 2. And saying right behind them though, Jack Walls is making a pretty good charge here. So he's started in the 10th position, already up to 3rd. So a really good start there for that number 83 Regal Toyota Camry. So say he's doing what he needs to do right now and try to keep himself in good track position. trying to take a look around a little bit more. So you got 13 not too far behind. However, that 85 car is definitely struggling. Right? I see all these drivers trying to get around him as quick as they can. So again, you can see that back panel there flapping off the back of that 85 car again, just with the damage and everything under the yellow. He got together with that 17, or sorry, not the 17, or the 14 car. So as I say, here comes the 17 on the inside though, trying to put him back for a position. So this is going to drop him right now towards the very back of the field. So his goal right now is just going to probably try to ride it out as long as he can here, hope for a yellow, and then I'm assuming get a fast repair, but again, it's still really early here tonight at Richmond. We have 76 Jim Brooks getting around him. That's going to put Brandon now down to the 11th spot. He's just in front of us. So a pretty good battle there between that 17, 12 Robert Richards and the 17 of Chad. Looks like Chad's going to get that position, move Chad up into the 8th position. Let's say, however, up front, though, these top two are starting to try to check out here. Again, that's the 14 Levi Cox and our race leader Larry England. Say they've kind of stretched it out a little bit from Jack Walls there. May have gotten a little loose as I say that. Here goes the 14, gets really loose off 4. He's going to try to save it, gets on the grass, able to keep it pointed straight though, and saying able to get it squared away here. So it's going to move Jack Walls now up into the 2nd position. I was saying we mentioned our upholsterer there, Brandon Clark, was talking about trying to keep that right rear tire underneath you, and just that was probably just a little bit too much aggression on the gas pedal. And so he got on the gas and just got really snapped around on him there, able to keep it pointed straight, which is a really good save there. However, again, that's going to cost him that spot, move him now back into the 3rd position, but you see he's ready to regroup here and try to get right back after him and try to grab that 2nd spot again back from that 83 car. So as another little moment, he's going to back it down here, say still under green, but he definitely backed it off here. Looks like he's regrouping now, saying right behind him you see Chad Wilkes trying to take a look on the inside of that 98 to Roy Wheeler. Is going to move Chad now up into the 6th position. Now saying very shortly, it looks like he'll be able to get underneath that 94 as well, or sorry, the 14 I should say, for the 5th position. So that's going to move Chad Wilkes up back into the top 5. It's after spinning early at the beginning of the race, and sure enough is able to get that position here. And as a little further forward here, we have 13 of Ryan Kelly starting to put some pressure on the 83 of Jack Walls. So this is for the 3rd position, or sorry, this is for the 2nd position. As I say that, though, caution is out. Looks like the 85 of Brandon Clark went around. So again, he had that damage from earlier. I'm sure that thing was not driving well. We'll jump back and take a look here. So he comes off turn 2. You can see the back end starting to come around on the car. Tries to kind of catch it there. So it actually looks like he has it here. Oh, I think I'm a lap early. We'll go back up to speed. Yeah, you can see him already getting loose there off of turn 2 as he enters 3 here. And so he gets on the gas and so just loops around, able to keep it off the outside wall. So you saw one car sneak underneath him, able to not get involved in that one. However, say pit road is open, so let's jump over to our race leader here with 67 of Larry Yingling. So it's about a 20 lap run for the leaders that didn't pit under that first yellow, so definitely going to want to take tires here. I'm sure those rear tires are probably screaming right now, so definitely a good strategy here for these guys. So it's definitely going to help some of these guys as well, just to get back on the right cycle, especially that 85 Brandon Clark, and get that damage repaired. So you see here, 67 Larry England's going to get out of the pits right now, so he'll easily come out with the lead. And behind him looks like Jack Wall's able to get out in the 2nd position, just ahead of the 94 Maxwell Caldwell. So it looks like Ryan Kelly bumped down a spot there under the pit stop cycle. Try to take a look here and see some of those drivers that were in the pits. So we'll take a look at the 85 car. It actually looks like the 85 is going to try to get this damage fixed if he can. Say because he had pretty quick pit stop there. As you can see, it's not flapping on the back anymore, so I think some of the damage was repaired to that back panel there. But say still a lot of damage to be repaired to the car. I'm honestly a little surprised that he isn't going to go with a fast repair on this one, as much damage as that car has. And as I say that, it looks all better now, so I think he did actually go ahead and go with that fast repair here. It's going to cycle him through. What he may have done there was leave it off, see how long of a pit stop or how much repair he was needing on that car, and decided, yeah, it's not worth it. I'm going to use that fast repair here. So you also can see behind him, Levi Cox is in. So he should be able to beat the pace car out of the pits. Yeah, he'll easily be able to clear him out. So right now, at the moment, we have 14 cars on the lead lap. Right now, the 48 of James Ledford is just one lap down. And say he's the only car one lap down, so that'll be able to put him back on the lead lap should another caution arise. Right now, though, our race leader is that 67, Larry Yingling, Jack Walls in second, Maxwell Caldwell third, Ryan Kelly fourth, and Chad Wilkes rounds out our top 5. Say again, we're only on lap 22 of 100. So we'll probably restart here with just over 75 laps to go. So we'll say just about got a quarter distance done here. But yeah, so you can already see though, this is definitely going to be a handful. Kind of talk about the egg on the throttle, if you will. That's kind of the approach you're going to want to be taking on the exit of the turns here, because if you get on the gas too hard, it's just going to spin those rear tires, get them hot, and it's really tough to get them to recover. So the lights are off on the pace car though. So it looks like we have all the drivers here have made their pit stops. So everybody looks like they've say no strategies here. It looks like 4 tires and fuel for everybody. I'll say one other thing, I don't know if they have it set up here or not, but I know it's available now in iRacing, is also tire limits. So that's a potential thing that could come into play as well for these drivers, should they add that to this league here in future races, where you may not be able to pit for 4 tires and fuel every single pit stop, depending how the cautions fall. However, pace car is off, put it back into the hands of the 67, Larry Yingling. Jack Walls 2 is outside. So a really good start there for the 67. I'd say, not sure if the 83 is maybe in the wrong year, just wasn't quite ready to get on there. However, so he's able to hold pretty steady there with that 94 Maxwell Caldwell. Looks like everybody gets through turns 1 and 2. Trying to get the momentum here through 3 and 4. If he can get that power down, he might be able to hold them off, but right now the advantage here is with that 94 car. So he's going to take that spot, so that's going to be Maxwell now up into the 2nd position. So keeping an eye around here, so you saw that 98 car get a little bit high off the exit. He's able to I was going to say that 9 had a moment there. I think probably got a little bit of wheel hop, possibly got loose on entry. You see these guys trying to get their way around there. Really good heads-up driving by these drivers to avoid that, and then just be able to kind of get through there. So I saw a slight 3 wide there, trying to make it happen. But I say right now, though, again, up until say Larry England still leading by about a couple tenths of a second over the 94. I say then 83 is in Jack Walls. As you can see right here, that 98 of Roy Wheeler running the top side in his mystery machine. So right behind Bud Steele, saying right now side by side for the 8th position. Then you can see that pop there up into that spot there. So you can see the 98 gets a little too high there on the entry. Actually, it looks like that opened the door for the 76. Oh, couldn't make the pass happen though. See now, say with that damage repaired, there here comes the 85 Brandon Clark making a big charge. To say again, this was our pole sitter there. Had that incident under yellow there where the cars kind of got stuck together, and just there's unfortunately just nothing he can do. So it's now he's going to get around that 17 car. He's going to move Brandon Clark up into the 4th spot. So that's a really good recovery for him again after having to make those pit stops and get that repair done. A little further back here, I saw a good battle here between the 98 and the 6 of Bud Steele. Right now, this is for the, saw that right there, Robert Richards is a little loose off of turn 2. So right now, this is 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th there with the 12, the 6, 98, and the 76. They go through turns 3 and 4, so the 6 and turns 3 is going to complete the pass of Robert Richards. I'll move Bud up into the 8th position. So again, keeping an eye on lap times. The last time by, the 14 Levi Cox was the fastest car on track. So, however, that 85 Brandon Clark was also pretty quick the last time by. So we'll have to kind of see how lap times are progressing here again. Or actually, this time by, Brandon Clark was the fastest car and also able to get the spot there. So that's going to move Brandon Clark up into the 3rd position. He's able to get around the 83 of Jack Walls there. And see right behind Jack now you got the 17 of Chad Wilkes. Going to try to follow through here. And I'm sure as well as that 17 is going to have his mirrors full here of that 14 of Levi Cox as well. Slightly spread out. So we'll do a quick through the field run here. So we'll start with our race leader. We'll start with Larry Yingling here, currently in the leading the race here. Started 5th. He's led 25 laps so far. We're on lap 34 of 100, so we still got 67 to go. Right behind him is Maxwell Caldwell. Started in the 3rd position, currently running 2nd. So he's definitely putting a challenge on for that lead dog in the run. So here's that pole sitter, Brandon Clark. Definitely is on a charge here after that pit stop and that damage he had to get repaired there. So really good job by Brandon here to kind of recover where he's at. In 4th, we have Jack Walls. So he's under a lot of pressure here from that 17 of Chad Wilkes and Levi Cox. Started 10th though, currently showing 4th, so he's had a good start to the race. So now we have the battle right behind him with the 17 of Chad Wilkes. So currently running either 4th, 5th, 6th, somewhere in that range. I'll say it's going to change probably here very shortly. And just to his outside is that 14 of Levi Cox. Started 2nd, so he had that little bit of a moment there, but it looks like he's recovering as well. Trying to see if he can find a way around both of these guys if he can. And right behind them is Bud Steele. Bud is in the 6th position, started 7th. Or sorry, is 7th, started 6th, had it backwards there, apologies. And then in the, well, was the 9th position, now it's up to 8th, is Roy Wheeler in that 98 mystery machine. I was just able to get around get around Robert Richards. Say right now Robert's dropped back just a little bit, currently running in the 9th position. And rounding out the top 10 here, you have the 76 of Jim Brooks. Started 15th, currently running 10th, trying to see if he can work over that 12th grade side. Got a little loose there. He's going to have a good entry here into 3. So he'll clear him here. That's going to move Jim up into the 9th position. Behind them in 11th is David Adamson, or was David Adamson. Now it's actually going to be 13 of Ryan Kelly. So right now Ryan Kelly is in the 11th position. And then right behind him now is David Adamson in the 12th position. And then the last 2 on the lead lap here are the 9 of Cody Cox and the 45 of Paul Patterson. And right now the only car 1 lap down is the 48 of James Ledford. However, I want to jump back to the front because we're starting to get a battle here for the lead with these top 3 cars. Larry Yingling, Maxwell Caldwell, and Brandon Clark. So you got a nice little manufacturer mix as well in this. We'll say you got the Ford leading, the Chevrolet, and the Toyota right there as well. So you have all 3 manufacturers shown in the top 3. So these guys are having a nice little battle right here. Say we're on lap 41 on 160 to go. Be 59 here to go next time by. So right now this is definitely the best battle on track as well. And it doesn't hurt when it's also a lead. That's always always a nice way to kind of keep an eye on the battle for the lead with these guys. I say the rest of the field here is pretty strung out at the moment. I see 14 and 17. Chad Wilkes, Levi Cox, they're running still close together here. Looks like Levi was just able to get around. And so you can see right now though, here comes that 85 of Brandon Clark trying to see if he can make that top side work. Maxwell Caldwell couldn't quite get it there. However, he's going to here. Saying this is going to be again where you need to try to figure out where your advantage is. So it looks like the low line is definitely where you want to be. However, depending, as you see one on the apron there, looks like that was the 9 of Cody Cox. Looks like he's able to get it pointed straight there, keeps it on the apron out of the way. Actually, I should say, showing the 88 of Michael Skull. Actually looks like he may have joined the server a little bit late, unfortunately, so he's going to try to hopefully head on track here shortly. Watching from the front bumper view of that 94 car, trying to see if he can make a charge on that 67 of Larry Yingling. Say they've been able to sneak away a little bit from Brandon Clark. And saying so right now it's top to your right, nose and tail. Say a little bit of a gap now between behind the third place Brandon Clark. But again, we've seen the pace of that car has had, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him make another charge here. While we've been watching this battle as well, the 76 Jim Brooks able to get around the 98 of Roy Wheeler. That's going to move Jim up into the 8th position. But again, right now on track, where this is definitely the closest battle for position here. And say these guys are starting to see a little bit of a wiggle there off the 94 exiting turn 4. Let's say again, you got to be extremely careful here to just to make sure you get the power down well. So what we'll do though actually is we're going to hop on board with our pole sitter as they go around the lap car there, 45 one lap down. Let's do a couple laps here with our 85 pole sitter on Brandon Clark. So that is the halfway mark of this race. So we have 50 down, 50 to go. Yeah, right now you see these guys right now all still pretty close together. So now we got looks like a bit of a battle here back for the 4th position. So Chad Wilkes has been able to make a bit of a charge on that 14 of Levi Cox. Maybe Chad's been able to take care of his tires a little bit better. He's going to take a look entering turn 1 here. Looks like Levi's trying to see if he can maybe make a different line work here, running the top side. You can see he's definitely got the momentum on the exit. However, the advantage right now definitely looks to still be on that low side. Oh, looks like 14 got a little too high. May have just nudged the wall a bit. So I don't think enough to hurt the car. Say that's going to cost him the spot there. So that's going to move Chad Wilkes up into the 4th position. And say also notice Ryan Kelly was able to get around Roy Wheeler in that 98 car. David Adamson was able to follow him through as well. I say that looks like Ryan Kelly. Oh, again, you see that 14 car really running that top side right now. I don't know if that's going to work for him as things run. It seems like it's just he's losing the pace, unfortunately, as they run here. So as I was watching Ryan Kelly, it looked like he was trying to chase down the 76 of Jim Brooks, and here he has actually made that pass. That's going to move Ryan Kelly now up into the 8th position. Saying again, we saw David Adamson look like he had followed through on the pass on that 98 of Roy Wheeler, so I think he's going to try to do the same here. See if he can make a run. He gets a nice entry into 3s. He's able to get it rotated really well there for that 007 car. So I say it looks like he's going to clear 76 here entering turn 1. So it's going to move move David, I should say, up into 9th, right behind that 13 of Ryan Kelly. Up front, still pretty similar here. So you can see those gaps have kind of stabilized between these front runners. I'm sure tires are definitely not feeling good on these cars right now. So we've done about 35 laps under green on them. Say lap times have dropped from 20. They've dropped about a full second or so off their best lap time. So not a huge drop off. However, I'm sure that they're just becoming more and more of a handful to drive though as the run progresses here. So again, the name of the game right now is just going to try to take care of those rear tires and not get too aggressive on the gas on exit. So what we'll do here is I'll say while things are calm, we're going to do the change the TV view so you can kind of listen to the cars instead of me for a little while. So I'm sure everybody will enjoy that a little bit more, right? So we'll do a couple laps here with our race leader and of course just the field around him as well. As you see coming up on lap traffic, so say Larry's able to get around those two pretty quickly. I think that was looked like it was the 48 of Larry Yingling, 48 James Ledford. Larry Yingling was able to get around. And actually looks like he was able to get around him pretty well. It's also the 9 of Cody Cox. So he's able to build a little bit of a gap there over Maxwell Caldwell. So now we'll see if he's able to do the same here with that 12 of Robert Richards. Looks like he slid up a little bit on the entry there to not get into the back of him, but actually this time it looks like he's been able to stretch it out there. He's about almost 0.2 of a second, a lot quicker there that last time by over Maxwell Caldwell. So you see Maxwell now following through, trying to get the pass on the side. He saw a little bit of a bobble there. He's like here, turn able to get through cleanly though. I'll say actually I see 76 Jimmy Brooks. Looks like something's going on with his car here. Looks like he's able to get it pointed straight again though. May have gotten, I'm not sure if he was trying to make a pit stop and missed the pit entry. So again, I'm not sure what the fuel run is on this, if they can make it to the end or not. They may still need a fuel stop. I'm sure they want tires if at all possible. Yeah, and sure enough, 76 of Jim Brooks is in the pits now. Let's say he was just 1 lap down. This is going to put him down a couple laps at this point. Again, having to get in, get serviced, and get out. They put him about 3 laps down, I'm thinking, once everything is all said and done here. So we'll keep an eye on that. So right now, again, the 67 of Larry Yingling is showing the way. Although that last time by, though, Maxwell Caldwell is about 1.5 tenths quicker than him. So once they got back into the clean air, that 94 car was able to put another lap down, another good lap down there. It was about a tenth and a half, I should say, quicker. Was also the fastest car on the track. See another little wiggle there from the 94. So I wonder, I'm going to keep an eye and see if anybody else is going to do any pit strategy here right now. So far, it's just the 76 of Jim Brooks who made his pit stop. It actually looks like he was able to come out still just 2 laps down, not that 3rd lap. So I'm going to keep an eye on his lap times and see what they look like compared to our leaders. I feel like he's going to be much quicker with these fresh tires. Coming around and complete a lap on the fresh tire, so he has to do a bit of traffic here. So we'll see if he's been able to actually put down a good lap time. But yeah, so he actually was not able to put down too great of a lap right now. I think he's working through the traffic. I say that last time by actually chatted a little bit on track. Just a couple hundredths over Larry Yingling. So right now, it looks like Larry's trying to counter those fast laps by Maxwell Caldwell. Again, no takers in the pit so far. It's just that 76 of Jim Brooks. So may have just maybe just not happy with those tires anymore. Just needed to do something to try to help his cause here. And he did actually stay 2 laps, and I think I did mention that already, apologize. But I'm saying, so right now just keeping an eye on the leaders right here. Right now this is the closest battle for position. I say they're, again, just about a half a tenth. Oh, as I said, looks like 76 maybe down on the apron. Oh, you see I looped it there. Oh, so coming back around, I say that's actually going to bring the caution out. So say unfortunate for him. However, I'm sure it's very fortunate for all those other drivers who I'm sure are banking on having the yellow soon. I'm sure everybody was just begging for tires. So let's go ahead and take a quick look and see what happened to that 70. Oh, you can see it looks like up towards the back there. Looks like he may have gotten together with that 6 of Bud Steele entering turn 3. So you can see he's kind of entering there. And it looks like the car just kind of washes up, unfortunately, and gets into the 6 car. It's going to push Bud up into the outside wall. It gets a pretty good shot there. So then you can see the 76 is going to spin down to the inside here. Say, oh, really good job there by Ryan Kelly, able to sneak his way through there. Let's say right behind him, David Adamson as well. So it spins the 76 down into the pit entry here. I think what happens when he then tried to loop it back around, that's what brought the yellow out here. You can see he was trying to get it spun around there, just couldn't quite get the rotation. However, we are under yellow here. Pit stops are about to happen. So we're going to see what, you're going to see 4 tires and fuel. The only potential strategy I could see is maybe putting a little less fuel in it if the car is loose. So we'll have to see if there's any strategy on that front, if somebody's going to maybe try to take a little less fuel to help it tighten it up a little bit. So right now you see that 67 on the outside. It looks like he's going to get a good pit entry. Actually, here comes the 94 and the 85. As you see, Larry gets the cone stuck on the nose. So again, they got to be careful not to get hooked on each other. So we saw that happen a little earlier. Larry is able to dispose of that green cone. So he's happily now sitting in turn 2. So that's going to move Larry here back up into the race lead. Looks like Maxwell Caldwell will be second, Brendan Clark third. We're waiting to see who all cycles through the rest of the way there. They had a pretty good gap over the rest of the field. Looks like it's going to be Chad Wilkes in 4th, and Levi Cox will round out the top 5. So we'll let these guys get all cycled through here for a moment. So I'll step away for just a bit, make sure I jump back on the 1 to go, and we'll regroup here. So I'm going to restart with probably about 25 laps or so to go. So it's going to be a bit of a sprint race now. So I think you're definitely going to see some aggression pick up with this short run to the end here. We still have 11 cars on the lead lap. So I think Robert Richards was the lucky dog on that under that yellow. Cody Cox showing 1 lap down, and then we also have the 45 Paul Patterson, James Ledford are 2 down, and then unfortunately Jim Brooks with that spin and everything, that he is down to 3 laps down at the moment. Actually looks like a little bit of strategy here for that 9 of Cody Cox. He's going to stay out, it looks like, and try to get one of those laps back to put him 1 lap down. Probably banking on a quick yellow to then get him cycled back through onto the lead lap and be able to get fresh tires here, because he's got 50 laps on his tires compared to, well, now 3 under yellow for the leaders. So his pace is definitely going to be hurting here should they stay green to the end. So I think we're definitely going to see him try to hope for a quick yellow, I think, at this point. Coming around, 1 to go on the lights are off in the pace car. So it's going to be Larry Yingling, Maxwell Caldwell, Brandon Clark, and Chad Wilkes are on the top 4. And then behind them, rounding out 5th and 6th, there is Levi Cox and Jack Walls. So again, we've seen how loose it is on the fresh tires, so that's going to be something that's on their mind for sure. And we've also seen that the top line does have some momentum here, so it's going to be see if Maxwell's able to kind of keep him pinned to the bottom here. We'll have to wait and see how this restart goes. Again, they go on green, so green flag is out, and as I said, a really good start there for that 94 car. Looks like 67 didn't get going as well as he'd hoped. Tries to get clear of him. We can see Larry just sent it deep into turn one, made it stick. Able to hang on to that lead there. So you see Maxwell's going to try to see if he can still make this top side happen here. So go through 3 and 4. They're right door to door with each other. Now Larry's going to have to make sure he can get the power down clean. That's a good exit. Just barely clear of that 94 Maxwell Caldwell. You see the 85 Brandon Clark right behind, trying to capitalize on any mistake. As they even gets slightly on the back bumper of that 67, gets him a little bit loose there. So they give 94 a little bit of a boost there to try to see if he can almost make a gain there, but couldn't quite do. Oh, big slugger for the 14 car, is able to hang on to it. However, loses a spot there to the 17 of Chad Wilkes. Let's move Chad now up into the 4th position. And I said, while we're watching that, though, I apologize, a lot happening here. That 85 was able to get around the 94, so that's going to move Brandon Clark back up into the 2nd position. We're going to see if we can make a charge here on our race leader there, 67 of Larry Yingling. See, Brandon's going to send it deep into turn 1, try to run that middle groove, and then get a good exit here, and see if he can kind of get that arc and get it rotated down underneath him. They actually see a little bit of damage to the back of that 67's bumper as well. I think that was from when the 85 got into the back of him when they were going through the turn earlier, when he was kind of trying to see if he could squeeze underneath the 94 as well. So I'd say it's not going to affect Larry by any means. Just so you notice a little bit of damage there from that contact. However, coming around this time by, we're going to be 20 laps to go of the scheduled 100 here. Right now our top 5 have snuck away from the field by just a little bit, and as I say that, you see 94 is trying to make a return charge here on that 85, so see if Maxwell's able to do anything with him. Oh, it says that looks like the 12 of Robert Richards. Yeah, you can see that back panel there. So, and right before that happened, the 14 was going to try to make a charge there. So let's go ahead and try to take a quick look, see what happens. So you can see him already loose there. So see if he just gets loose on entry. It's easy to do here. Yeah, I can see already starting to break away from him here. Looks like catches it once, and we'll see if it steps around on him again once he tries to gather it back up here. Actually, I think that may have been a lot prior, so let's sort of keep on board here. You can see he was already getting loose there in turn 3, though. Or turn 1, I apologize. He's getting loose again. Say that time, so I had a little bit of higher entry, and then just from there, just snaps around on you. I say we're definitely have some mixed pit strategies here, so I'm gonna actually jump back to our leaders, which is gonna start with Brandon Clark here. He's gonna take 4 tires, I believe, and fuel. See if he decides to take 2 or not. Was just under a 10-lap round. Looks like it is gonna be 4 tires here for the 85 car. I see that 13 jumps around him there. I believe Ryan Kelly, yeah, Ryan Kelly took 2 tires on that stop, so that's going to bump Ryan ahead of those that took the 4, and also going to bring the 9 of Cody Cox back onto the lead lap. I was a little concerned about the age of his tires there and doing the wave around, but it worked perfectly. So that's going to now put Cody back on the lead lap, and he'll be able to pit here and get fresh tires. And that's going to give us 12 cars on the lead lap here. So say for those, though, that stayed out, it's going to be actually just the top 3. It's going to be Larry Yingling, Maxwell Caldwell, and David Adamson. So you're going to have Ryan Kelly in 4th with 2 tires. And then from 5th on back, we have 4 tires on the rest of these cars here. So we'll see what kind of advantage the tires have, especially, of course, the 2 versus the 4. We'll see what Ryan Kelly's able to do with those right side tires. I'll say we're going to restart with probably about 14 or 15 to go. So again, I'll say this is again where the aggression is definitely going to start ramping up with these guys, and I'll say definitely will be some potential for green-white checker finishes. And as I say that, actually 007 David Adamson decides to pit here. Maybe decided that he didn't want to be that last car on the old tires. Maybe thought more people were going to stay out and kind of be a buffer, if you will. So now it's actually going to have the 13 and the 85 restart in the 3rd and 4th position. So just in the 2nd row. So their work's going to be cut out for them because again they're going to have fresher tires behind them again with the 2 of Ryan Kelly, and then the 4 of Maxwell Caldwell, or Brandon Clark. Maxwell Caldwell, however, will be restarting second with the same tires as the 67 Larry England. And we saw Maxwell had a pretty good start on that last restart, so we'll see if he's able to do it again. Again, slightly worn tires. I don't think tire spin, well actually tire spin could be an issue. Again, here at the short track package, this is the low downforce, high horsepower setup. So let's say these things are a handful at these short tracks. So let's see if we get the 1 to go here, or if we got one more. And as I said, lights are off, so we are on the 1 to go here. So you can see right now, right, so our top 5 is Larry Yingling, Maxwell Caldwell, Ryan Kelly, Brandon Clark, and Chad Wilkes. Again, say from 3rd on back, they all took pitted 2 tires from the 13 car, 4 tires from the 85 on back. So we'll have to see. Say it puts the 9 of Cody Cox back on the lead lap as well. So he'll be in the 12th position. So we're going to see what he's able to do here. Actually, looks like the 12 of Robert Richards is in the pits as well. So he's actually going to restart in the 12th position. The 9 will be in 11th. So we're going to restart here with 14 laps remaining. So again, say it's going to start getting a little dicey here. Say pace cars obviously all getting stacked up close together, trying to get a good restart. Really good start there for 67 this time. A little bit of, you see a little bit of a bump there. Brandon Clark got into the back of Maxwell Caldwell. It's going to really hurt the momentum there. It's going to open up the door here for Ryan Kelly to try to get to the inside off of turn 2. Looks like right now they're going to so now you're going to see that 85 try to make this top side work here. Try to see if he can get that momentum on the exit. As they say, when he gets loose on the exit there, able to keep it straight. As he said, I'd say 83 of Jack Walls got hooked into him. I say nowhere for the 98 of Roy Wheeler to go. I say he gets involved as well. You can see lost that left front corner paddle of the car. So unfortunately, a pretty big incident there. Let's say just trying to get what they could there with the fresh tires. So say that 98 and the 83 are definitely hurting now. You can see the back panel there of the 83 flapping here. So I'm gonna guess the 85's got some decent damage to his car as well. Yeah, you can see that right side is pretty pancaked there. So I'll say definitely some damage for that 85 of Brandon Clark as well. Just try to get what he could there on those fresh tires. Just got a little bit too aggressive on the throttle there, unfortunately. That's kind of what caused it there. So we'll go through and take a look at it one more time though. So you actually already see it starting to happen here. So we'll go back a little further. Say coming through turn 4. So you can see that 85 is going to start getting on the throttle, and as soon as he does, you're going to see the back end start stepping out. You can see already it's starting to kind of rotate a little bit too much. You see that wheel start turning to the right. He's trying to correct it. Unfortunately, just can't quite do it. So you see the 17 of Chad Wilkes just barely squeaked through. Say Jack Walls also tries to get to the inside, does a really good job of avoiding him, but unfortunately right there just gets a little bit of contact that upsets the car enough there to send him to the outside wall. And for poor Roy Wheeler, just nowhere to go. I'm sure just never saw that coming. So he gets a big shot there from the 83 car. See Bud Steele sneak through on the inside. Say that looks like the second hit is actually where it took off that right, the left front. A little delayed, but hey, say it still works, I'm sure. So we're gonna under yellow again. Say it looks like, for the most part, most leaders here are staying out. I say some of those involved. Brandon Clark is in the pits here. Roy Wheeler pitted there as well, as did Jack Walls. However, the rest of the field there did not pit. And Robert Richards gets one of his 2 laps back, so that's going to move Robert now. So I guess he had to actually pit under that yellow. May have had a pit penalty, I'm not sure. So he's going to now be 1 lap down. And I'm also showing that the 48 of James Ledford is 1 lap down as well. So we'll let those all cycle through here. So now say the new lineup is going to be, say top 2 are actually top 3 are still the same. Larry Yingling, Maxwell Caldwell, Ryan Kelly. Now in the 4th position is going to be the 17 of Chad Wilkes. And in 5th is the 14 of Levi Cox. saying I want to say it's been a quiet night, but say Bud Steele's now worked his way up into the 6th position. Again, he was involved in that earlier incident with that 76 of Jim Brooks when he was on those fresher tires, so he's been able to rebound from that as well and make a move back up towards the front. Saying David Adamson said again he pitted under that last yellow maybe a lap or so after the leaders did. So he had to restart towards the back of the field, and so now he's been able to recover back up to the 7th position here. And then of course, let's say you got to mention the 9 of Cody Cox got the lucky dog that last caution, got back on the lead lap. Or actually, no, I'm sorry, 2 cautions ago got back on the lead lap with the strategy of staying out. Then was able to get cycled through and get his new tires here. So now he's back in the 8th position, definitely in contention here for a good result. So, however, lights are off on the pace car, back to 1 to go here. You can see those drivers trying to feel where the grip is of these tires, see if they're going to break loose on them or not. So you can see the way the car, kind of the nose lifts and then drops. They're just trying to see what they have here. So again, here at Area 51, they go on the green flag, so the leader does not have control of the restarts. Makes it a little bit more fair for these drivers. So you can see again, you're going to see them all bunch up right together here off of turn 4. They're going to wait for that green flag to come back into the air. And so you see, a little bit of tire spin for that 67. It's going to give the advantage here to Maxwell Caldwell. He's going to jump to the bottom, block that path off for the 67. So that's going to move Maxwell Caldwell here to the lead. However, on the top side, here comes Chad Wilkes with the 4 tires here. So see if he's able to make anything happen with those as well. So just a little bit of a tire spin, it looked like, for that 67, really hurt him there. Able to propel the 94 here into the lead here. We're going to now we got 6 laps to go. So we've got a little bit of a battle there. It looks like the 14 of Levi Cox able to get around the 13 of Ryan Kelly and Ryan's on the 2 tires. You already see that 85 of Brandon Clark trying to make a charge here. So he had to get that fast repair done. He's going to try to see what he can do with these brand new tires as well. Looks to the inside, so it looks like they're going to maybe think about through right entering turn 1. Oh, you see 13 gets really loose, catches the back bumper of the 14. He's trying to hang on to it. Say caution is out, though. I think the 13 went around. He did. So yeah, say 3 wide there at Richmond is definitely a tough one to pull off. Unfortunately, they couldn't quite do it. It was close. So we'll see right here. So you can see the inner here. The 85 gets to the inside. You can see the 13's already loose on entry there. Looks like he just catches the right rear quarter panel, which then pushes him up into the left rear quarter panel of the 14. Bounces off the outside wall and then just kind of, unfortunately, just throws him down to the inside here. So able to keep the rest of the, looks like the rest of the field is able to get around him there. Just barely. You can see he went kind of as fast as he could to the inside not to get involved in that one. And so that's going to now put us under yellow again. So they're definitely going to need a fast repair, I'm sure, for that 13 car. He's definitely hurting here. And I believe, I'm trying to keep an eye on the lucky dog and such on this one. Let's say the 14 here is, and all you see is got a little bit of right rear or rear damage to that car as well. I think from that left rear contact with the 13 car. So the 13 is in as well. Ryan Kelly, Jack Walls in the 83 is in as well. So here comes Robert Richards. He does get back on the lead lap, so that's going to give us 12 cars back on the lead lap. Let's say with Robert Richards here getting back on the lead lap this time. Let's say a little bit of damage still to that car. Not sure if he has any fast repairs remaining or not. However, this will be attempt of green white checker number, so I should say attempt number 1 of up to 3 green white checkers here. So basically after this one, once they get going, as you see, 12 gets in the wall, trying to get maybe a little too aggressive, trying to get back up to the field here. So say he's definitely going to hop in the pits now. Again, hopefully it has a fast repair. He can use one here. So we'll jump back up front to our race leaders. So like I was saying, though, for the green white checkers, though, so if they get to the white flag on this attempt, if a yellow was to come out, or if there's an incident, I should say, if they get to the white flag, then they'll just keep going to the checkered flag. However, if an incident occurs that brings the caution out before they cross the white flag, then we will have up to two more attempts at it. On the 3rd attempt, if we get to that point, should a caution come out, let's say right on the restart, the field will be frozen. That's how the race will end. That's how the standings will be set. So Right now, say again, we've talked about that right now the race wins have been pretty much between the 67 to 17. They've had 3 apiece. Brandon Clark has 1 win, I believe. So Maxwell Caldwell's looking to try to get his first win here in the Cup Series with the Area 51 Racing League. So had an awesome restart that last time by. He's going to need to try to do it again. And also, though, he's going to have to keep those fresher tires of Chad Wilkes behind him. And Brandon Clark now also has even fresher tires, I should say, of those 3 in front of him. So I was saying we'll have to see how that all pans out here. It's actually showing the 14 Levi Cox is still in the pits and is down a lap. So unfortunately not sure what happened to that 14 car. Was one of the top runners here this evening. So unfortunately for him, the race has not gone to plan on that one. And yeah, Tim's, yeah, the 94 and the 67 are on about 20. It says 29 laps old on their tires. We've had a few under yellow though, so obviously it's not completely accurate. However, of course, with the way these, just with the way it is though, I mean, they still have got about 10 laps more on their tires than the 17 of Chad Wilkes, and then they got about almost 20 laps more than the 85 of Brandon Clark. So, and of course, thank you for joining us tonight at Green White Checker TV with the Area 51 Racing League Cup Series at Richmond. This is Green White Checker attempt number 1. Again, up to 3. So we'll see what these guys are able to do. If they can make it to the white flag, that's where they will run it to the end. So right now, though, again, it's going to be all about that restart. Last time by, the last restart, 94, Maxwell Caldwell able to get the lead on the restart. 67 just maybe spun the tires a little bit there, and 94 just was able to blow by him. So we'll see on this restart how it goes. Pretty even start here. Say you see the 67, it's a little bit of a wiggle. They're able to hang on to it, though. You can see the 17 of Chad Wilkes all over the back of the 94 car. So Larry's trying to make this topside work here. So they're going to have to be real aggressive. Oh, and Larry's able to clear in there, entering off 2, entering 3 here. So unfortunately, Maxwell did not quite get the restart he needed. So it's come through turn 4. Looks like they crossed the line here, and yellow has not come out. So we're going to run it to the end. So you see Brandon Clark trying to make this topside work here underneath that 17 up. Chad Wilkes trying to see if he can get that 3rd position. But I say up front, Larry's been able to check out a little bit. So right now it looks like the fight's going to be for that podium position. You see the 1785 up against each other, door to door the wall. I think the 17 Chad Wilkes is able to, just the way he got through him there, kind of pull. You see they're wrecking hard behind there at the finish here. So I think it's going to still put Chad Wilkes though in the 3rd position. And say let's go back and take a look at that finish. So we'll back it up here because that was an exciting finish there with these guys. So as they come through here off of turn 4, and say you can see the 17 starts sliding up a little bit, kind of one of those Darlington finishes like Craven and Kurt Busch here. Say they get together. So they get hooked, and then from there, say that's where the 85 winds up hooking the 17. He just slides across the line just ahead. Say 007 David Adamson wasn't quite able to clear him. However, it's going to give David Adamson a 5th place finish there. And Cody Cox able to get all the way up into the 6th position. So however, though, we're going to start with see Bud Steele, James Leonard wind up piling in there at the end there. So say let's go ahead and start with our, let's go one more lap there. There we go. So we're going to start with our 3rd place finisher here. So we'll talk to Chad Wilkes there. So I'm sure he'll be interested in mentioning how the end of that race went. So pulling up our 3rd place finisher here, Chad Wilkes in that number 17 car. So nice to see you got some sponsorship on there. Say you've been kind of lonely there without any sponsors on the car. So say got Monster Energy on the hood now of your Ford Mustang. So obviously the first thing that comes into mind was that last lap battle there between yourself and the 85 of Brandon Clark. Say got connected there off of 4, but say able to kind of slide across the line just in front of him to get that 3rd position. But say you had some of the fresher tires of those around you. Just I don't know if that was enough to do it, or I mean, I say take us through. It looked like it was a handful for you guys tonight.
Yeah, well, first off, I want to say sorry to everybody. I apologize on the radio too, but I want to say sorry to everybody for that just brutal spin out to start the race. That was absolutely pitiful. And then there at the end with Brandon, he absolutely was a million times faster than me. I mean, he was faster than me. Levi was probably, which Levi had some issues there. Um, but I mean, I didn't deserve to finish third. I hate this track. I've never really raced at it with these cars. Um, I hate it, but yeah, I just kind of found myself in the right place at the right time, I guess. I mean, it's impossible to get the throttle down in the whole race. So I was just kind of hanging on for dear life there at the end, and I mean, I guess it's I've gotten our last short track race, I got smashed a couple times there in the last two laps. So I guess it had knocked me out of fighting for the win. So I guess it happens on short tracks, but yeah, that's I don't even know what to say about it. I hate this track. That's all I could say.
That's okay. You're allowed to not like the tracks. To say Richmond's definitely. I was mentioning is like Richmond and Iowa. Those are two tracks for me that is I'm just terrible at. I don't know what it is, but I can't get them figured out. So I mean, able to come home third there. I was saying obviously a really fun battle there with you and the 85 at the very end. And yeah, like you said, though, I mean, you by far weren't the only one to get loose on the entry. Turn one especially, I say turn one for me, that's the trouble turn. Like you try to get on the brakes late, but then as soon as you do, it wants to snap around. And of course, like you said, with the low downforce, high horsepower package that they run at the short tracks, it makes it that much more difficult with these cars.
Yeah, for sure. It's I'm actually good at Iowa. I think Iowa might be my best track on iRacing, but for some reason I can't. Which I've never really raced. I mean, it's probably been 3 years since I raced any car in Richmond, much less these cars. So I didn't have any experience. And Levi spun his tires on that first restart, and so I thought I was like, oh, well, I'm going to be aggressive because I know I'm slower than them. Try to get some track position. Because I know I was slower than Maxwell, Larry. I knew I was slower than all those guys, but I was like, man, I got an opportunity to get some track position here. And it's been a long time since I've done a restart on Richmond, and I mean, yeah, that thing just completely looped around on me. Um, but yeah, I mean, it was very very difficult. To the rear tire was just slide all over the place. At the end, I got faster because I was a little bit more aggressive. Um, and there was a couple times at the end I got into Maxwell on that last restart, and I don't know if that was because he was on older tires. Because Larry ended up getting a good run on the outside of him. So maybe if I had more laps, Brandon would have beat me. But me and Brandon might have been faster than those guys just because we had newer tires. But I'm not sure. I'm not good enough to even know at this track. So yeah, I'm just completely lucky to finish third. That's about all I can say.
I mean, I think we talked about that last night too. I say luck sometimes will play a factor in there. So I say, like I said, you were able to learn as the race went on. I say, and then of course, say able to obviously a little bit of luck to get through and recover like you were able to. But I say definitely want to put it all to luck by any means. I say you definitely were running well tonight. I say I think like you said, probably about a top five car just pace wise altogether. So bringing it home third, I say it's still a really good run. And yeah, I want to give you an opportunity for any thanks that Chaz you'd like to give for that result.
Yep, thanks to Area 51 and to you for doing the broadcast. Um, we need to we need to trade some of these short tracks courses on Thursday nights. I suck it. But yeah, thanks to everybody that put on a good race. This is such a hard track. It was, there was going to be some cautions. And I just again apologize to everybody for that first spin that in front of the whole field. But yeah,
Well, I'll be the bearer of bad news. I believe next week is going to be Bristol. Then you get some bigger tracks for the final
oh
two
my,
races. So I say so. Yeah, get ready. I say it's going to be a challenging one next week, and then I'll say then you can get back
mm,
into your wheelhouse here for those final two.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. That's so that's gonna be tough. It's been years since I've raced there too, so that'll be interesting.
So just be ready to run up by the wall. It seems to be where the momentum is.
Yep, that's what I feel.
That's our third place finisher there. Chad Wilkes is able to get a good result there. Say obviously, like I said, challenging track tonight. Say I'll be a little biased here. I definitely was rooting here for that 94 Maxwell Caldwell. say he hasn't had a win yet this season. Was right there. Unfortunately, just didn't quite have the caution come out when he needed to. I say had the perfect restart in the one before there. But I say it seemed like the top line maybe was where the restarts were preferred for you at the end. I say, was there any truth to that, or is that just what I was maybe making things up here?
I feel like the top was a better place to restart, which I was kind of shocked at that. It would. I thought I was in trouble with a couple of those restarts being in second, but that one restart earlier in the race, I got a big jump on Larry, but I just couldn't clear, and so I knew something was up there. So that last one, I finally got the jump and got clear of him, and I really wanted it to go green from there, but caution come out, and then when I restarted on the bottom, I didn't really spin my tires, but I had Chad behind me, and he just kind of put the bumper to me the whole corner, so I really couldn't get the power down to get off, and it just allowed Larry to scoot on by. So that was fun.
Yeah, so I won't lie. I was a little biased. I was rooting for you there at the end. I was like those guys have their wins already. I wanted to see Maxwell get one here. I say really close to getting to. Like you said, if it had stayed green, you were in a pretty good position because you had pace all night. You were as quick as those guys around you. Just seemed to be whoever was able to get out in front was able to kind of set the pace there. But I mean, I was talking to Chad there, and he was mentioning just how much of a handful it was here for the tire, especially on the rear tires, of course, tonight. I say, was that kind of what you're experiencing there as well?
I mean, if you wanted to mat it off every corner, you were going to have a rough night. But as long as you kind of just ease into the throttle, I had that eggshell mentality, pretending there's an egg up under the throttle, just kind of easing into it off the corner, especially off four. You can get runs. And even on that really long run we had, I kind of noticed without lap traffic, I could keep pace with Larry just by as he would be getting loose. I would just try to ease into the throttle a little bit. So, yeah, I had pace all night. Normally, Richmond's not the worst, but not the best for me. But just it sucks to finish second again after having some pace and after having the lead and control of a restart and just kind of getting jacked up again right there, just getting the rear tires feeling like they was lifted up into the corner there, getting hit 3 or 4 times in turn one, just kind of gave Larry the win there. But it is what it is. We'll try to get a win sometime this season. Finishing second a few times here, kind of ready to get that +1, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you there. And I mean, that's all you can do is just keep yourself in position, and one of those times the brakes will go your way there. So I say really good run though again for you this evening, and so want to give you an opportunity though for any thanks and shout outs you'd like to give for that result.
Just shout out to the usual teammates. You got Larry, you got Levi Cox, Cody Cox, Ryan Kelly. You got Brandon Clark. Just same guys we run with. Just we work well in practice. We figure some stuff out. We all run up front, and half the time, half of us get jacked up there at the end. I know Brandon kind of got took out by uh, 17, Chad, and just all kinds of stuff. And I had a couple other buddies just kind of get spun and wrecked out. So, oh well, we'll take this second place and try to. I don't even know if I got anything for him at Bristol. We'll see, but just ready to do that +1. Kind of frustrated finishing behind Larry every time I finish second. So
Yeah, I say Bristol's obviously definitely a wild card, so I say you never know how it can wind up over there. So again, good run tonight though, and say look forward to catching you again soon.
thank you very much. We'll see you next week.
As our second place finisher there, Maxwell Caldwell. So we'll jump over here to our race winner, Larry Yingling, able to pull it off at the end. Say, of course, lost the lead on the second to last restart, but on that last restart, he was able to get the power down. Seemed like that top line is definitely where he needed to be. And then, yeah, so able to bring it home. So, say, congrats on the win there, Larry. I mean, I guess to start off with, I think take us through the race.
Oh, it was a blast to finally have a car that you drive off the right rear. The right front didn't really wear out like every other race we do, but just just that big. It's just all about saving your right rear tire pretty much. The whole big run, probably half of that run, I didn't go full throttle once during those laps, just to try and take care of it the whole time.
Yeah, so I definitely saw it looked like you were able to kind of keep the tires underneath you, say leading 86 of the 103 laps, so say a little bit of extended distance with the one green white checker. But still, though, I mean, I say obviously that second to last restart, I'm sure you had a little bit of nerves there when Maxwell was able to get around you, but then that following restart, to say, were you able to learn anything from the previous one, or was it just kind of that seemed? I'm talking to Maxwell. Seemed like that top line maybe was the place to be on those restarts.
I think it was pretty equal on the restarts. Just I kept spinning my tires every single restart. I mean, that last time I pitted, I didn't take any fuel, so I had no weight in the rear, and that just made it even worse. And just that last restart, I restarted in third gear, and I was able to keep pretty even with Maxwell for the most part. And I just went towards the wall and dove it into one, and I saw he had a let off a little bit early, then he got hit, and so I knew I could clear him off too.
No, so yeah, I mean, I was actually wondering about that too, about the potential of maybe doing some fuel strategy to maybe try to tighten the car up a little bit. And so I didn't think about the weight off the back of the tires for restart, so it's actually a good point to bring up. But I say again, really good job there this evening here. So I want to give you opportunity for any thanks and shouts you'd like to give for that win tonight.
And my teammates this race: Maxwell Caldwell, Levi Cox, Brandon Clark, Ryan Kelly, and Cody Cox. And thank you for the broadcast. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, say good run again. Congrats on the win tonight. Say next week be Bristol. Say feeling good, bad. I say I don't know. Say Bristol's kind of love-hate for a lot of people.
Yeah, this as long as you're out front, it's nice, but it's just a single groove up top. If you're stuck behind someone, you pretty much just gotta stay there and hope to God they make a mistake.
So we'll see how that goes next week. It's definitely going to be an exciting one. So again, congrats on the win, and I say enjoy it, and then we'll catch you again soon.
Thank you, sir.
That was our race winner there, number 67, Larry Yingling, able to win tonight at Richmond. So we'll go through our race results here. So you'll see top 10 here. You see is starting with our race winner, Larry Yingling, Maxwell Caldwell in second, Chad Wilkes third, Brandon Clark able to recover to a fourth place finish there. David Adamson able to work his way up to sixth or fifth, I should say. Cody Cox again got that lucky dog or wave round, I should say. Then was able to pit with the yellow, came out. Definitely made the most of that, able to get all the way back up into the sixth position there. Ryan Kelly in seventh, Roy Wheeler eighth, Jack Walls ninth, and then Bud Steele rounds out the top 10. And then our 11th through 20th here. So we have Robert Richards there, Levi Cox. Say something happened to him, unfortunately, towards the end, put him down a lap. So he was definitely one of those front runners there. James Ledford, Paul Patterson, Jim Brooks, Michael Spell, Dwight Plush, and then Diego Vasquez rounds out the field for this evening. So say for myself, see a little bit of a bounce there for Larry as he gets into the Richmond Raceway there, the victory lane. So again, for myself here with Green White Checker TV, I want to thank you all for joining me this evening at Richmond Raceway with Area 51 Racing League Cup Series. We'll catch you again on Sunday night for the Super Speedway Series with the Cup cars. And then, of course, then again, we'll start back up next week on Tuesday with the Indy cars. So until Sunday, I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Remember to stay home, stay safe, wash your hands. And until next time, have a good night and take care.